Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Zeppelin and I hope you are all doing well. So before we get on to the reactions for the Muse Drones album, I first wanted to make this quick video message before the video starts, just to let you know about a video that I have been working on over the past number of months. Now, I wanted to have it out by the end of last month, but I got ill and I also got delayed in it. It was taking longer than I thought, but we are well on course to getting it finished and I'm hoping to have it up at the end of October. So here's a quick trailer for the video. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video you're about to watch, and please do check out this video when it comes out around the end of October. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you'll know when it comes out, and follow me on my social media, Twitter being my biggest social media, where I post regular updates so you'll know when the video is out. It will mean a lot to me if you check it out, as I have put my absolute heart and soul into this video and it is getting there. So without further ado, here's the trailer. Enjoy. Peace. The Last of Us Part 2 is a game that I don't think I will ever play again. But let me explain why. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that intro. We're not going to waste too much time here. We're going to get into this song, the first song from the Muse Drones album, Dead Inside. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this reaction series really quick, because I have listened to this album multiple times before. In fact, it was the first album to come out after I had gotten into Muse, so it's a bit of a weird one to be coming back to be doing, but allow me to explain myself here. So pretty much the reason why I am doing it is because it is an album, it's sort of their last real rock album that they'd done. They kind of come away from the rock for about 6 or 7 years. They had done the Resistance album, then they'd done the Second Law, which I think it'd be wrong to call them more mainstream, but they were definitely just different, and they were very different to what fans were used to, and a lot of people wanted them to go back and do rock. You know, they're more hardcore fans, so they went back and they done the Muse Drones album, and a lot of people actually kind of liked it at the time. It definitely wasn't their best album, but it was decent enough. However, I've seen a lot of people talk about this album as is aged, and it has been considered by many people to be a very poorly aged album, and an album that has gotten worse over time. Also, just to interject here, I can see my teeth look a bit yellow. I'm using a yellow light at the moment because of the blue. It's messing up my camera, so it's a yellow light. I'm going to change it for the next video, don't worry. So if I look mank, I swear to God, my teeth don't look as bad as they do on here. But yeah, a lot of people have been saying that the album is aged poorly. I've listened to sort of the songs from this album on and off over the years since it's come out, and I do sort of get their point. Like, there's something about the album that doesn't feel right, kind of going back to listen to some of the songs, and I kind of wanted to see if that comes through as when you listen to the album as a whole. Is it boring? Is it not aged well? Or are the songs just not as good as they felt when they came out? It'll be interesting to see, and I thought it'd be a good idea just to get back in and talk about these songs anyway, that we could have some fun with that. So that's what we are going to do. So without further ado, let's get right into it, and I'll go more into detail on things as we go through the album. I just don't want to be rambling all the way through the start. So let's get started with Muse, Dead Inside, from the Drones album. Very cool beat to it. One thing I will say is the production on this album is great. I mean, this album is definitely the best sounding, like in terms of the actual recording. it's the best sounding rock album that they've done, in my opinion anyway. That's just the technology. They've done this way later than the other rock stuff. Very cool with the vocals there. That is a great guitar, isn't it? That's a very cool sounding guitar. I know a lot of purists won't like it, but I think it's really cool. It's like it's so muddy. It's so muddy with the electronics. This actually might just be a good place to throw a quick pause in there. You see what they do in terms of building tension. A lot of bands that are really good are great at this. Radiohead have been very good at this as well, and Muse do it all the time essentially, and they're doing it there. They added in just the little plucks in the guitar going back into the main, or the main vocals before the chorus. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what you call it now. My head's a bit fried today, I apologize. But it just sounds really cool, and it's building that tension. And I think there's a little bit of strings there that I just picked up on. It's been a while since I listened to this song, to be honest, so I don't remember everything from it off the top of my head. But I feel like I think there's some strings coming in there, and all of it just kind of builds the tension as the song rises and rises and gets where it needs to be going. And I think that's why Muse are a personal favorite band of mine, is just because I'm a sucker for a build up of tension in music. And I think it works really well. I think it's really cool. Very good vocals on the track as well. Good recording. Move this really quickly. There we go. I love the little background things. Obviously you've got the plucking, and then you got those background vocals as well from the bassist. Really works to build the song, because it's a very simple song at its heart, so you need a lot around it to build it. Such a good kick. This is where all the tension built is sort of releasing. It's a bit cliche, but it works. It works for the song, you know. Can't knock a bit of cliche. There's almost a little bit of U2 about it, dare I say. I feel there's something about it that reminds me of U2. I think it's the way he's singing it. The way it comes back into that chorus is so cool, and it's an exploded chorus now because of what the drums are doing, and that's why the drummer is so cool for this band. I love him. I think very faintly, yeah, the strings are back in the background. Such detailed little layers. The string plucking, like. Back into that just simple groove that just works. Okay, that was Dead Inside by Muse, the first song on the Muse Drones album. Now, I'm going to give my rating on the song off the bat. But my rating on the song versus how I think it works with the album, which is sort of, we're doing a mixture here when it comes to these reactions and reviewing the album. It's how the album aged, along with just how individual songs age. It's sort of like a 2-in-1. And in terms of how good the song is, I think it's definitely around an 8. Like, I'm biased. I quite like the song personally, but if I was to try to strip back that bias a little bit and give it an objective, it sits between 7.5 and 8. Maybe leaning towards 7.8, 7.9, you know, on that higher scale. But in terms of how, which is a good, it's a good ranking in my opinion. You know, that's quite high up for me, because I'd never give anything really above a 9.5. You know, anything that's hovering around that 8 is a song that I really like. But in terms of its placement in the album, it's so weird. And as we go on to listen to these reactions, I'm sure you reacting to this most likely are a fan of Muse and have listened to the album already, so will understand when I say that its placement within the album is incredibly strange. It's incredibly strange. And you even look at how they done their live gigs for this album, for the Drones tour. They'd always start off with the song that's at the very end of the album, and then go into Psycho, which is the second song, well, technically third song, because there's an interlude called Drill Sergeant after this. But that really feels like it should be the intro to the album. I think Dead Inside feels very much like, even though it's keeping within the themes of the album, it feels like a single that was just thrown in there, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like it was put in the right spot on the album. If anything, I'd put it maybe... What comes after Psycho again? Is it Reapers? So you kind of have your heavy stuff. Maybe put it after Reapers and before The Handler. Now again, maybe once I listen through more of the songs, my opinions might change on that a little bit in terms of where it should be placed. But it really doesn't feel like it should be the first song in this album, especially for what the themes that they're going for in this album. This album definitely tries to have a heavier feel throughout, and this song, great as it may be and dark as it may be in terms of it's got the darkness of a heavy feel, but it's not a heavy song by any means in terms of its instrumentation. And it does just feel a little out of place. Again, not the fact that it's on the album, but where it is on the album as the opener doesn't feel right. You know, I always feel like the album should be opening with Drill Sergeant and Psycho, because that gives you the kick, you know, the kick of what this album is trying to shove down your throat, essentially, because that's unfortunately there's no other way to describe how the theme of this album is put across. But yeah, it's a great song. It's a very good song, but I think, how would I word it? How a lot of people were saying about the album aging poorly and having issues with the album. This song, where it is, I definitely see as an issue. And I could see maybe how it might have just aged the album poorly, because it just feels like it's a stunted intro, because Psycho feels like it should be the intro and not this. But that's just my opinion. Do let me know what you think. Leave a comment down in the comments below, because I do wonder on that opinion genuinely. Am I the only one who thinks that, or is that a common thought? Because I seen reviews of this album when it came out, and I didn't see really many people talk about that. So I am curious to hear your thoughts. Do leave a like if you enjoyed. Do make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. We'll be going through this whole album, and I'm really excited to do so. I do hope you enjoyed, and we're not going to spend too much time doing this outro because we want to get on and do the next one. So if this video is just out the day you're watching it, the follow-up will be tomorrow. But if this video has been out for a while on the time of you watching it, all of this stuff will already be on my channel, so make sure to go check it out. And yeah, remember what I said at the start about the trailer, about that video. Make sure to tune in for that. I'm hoping to have it out by the end of the month, provided it doesn't get copyright blocked. Fingers crossed. But anyway, we'll see how that turns out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.